Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophie Lyon and this is Teague from Heckler and Koch. I got a lot of comments asking for the next guns in the next video, so today we take two of the fan favorite rifles from the HK collection. Come check it out.
Alright, so the gun that we have today, the long gun that we have today, is the HK416. Sophie had mentioned that a lot of you in the comments had wanted to see this gun, so here it is. This particular version is a standard 416D, 14.5-inch barrel. We're going to reject modernity, and we're going to embrace tradition with that. Again, along that same line, we've got just a standard vertical grip. As far as history of this gun goes, the 416 was developed at a request of US SOCOM, specifically one of the Tier 1 units. Is basically a upgrade or a better, more reliable system than the standard M4 at the time. There was some issues going on with the M4 that were resolved later on, but in the meantime, HK was approached for this. And the original gun was called the HK M4. It was changed for various reasons to the 416. But what HK decided was to essentially marry the gas system of the G36, the piston system of the 36, with the reciprocating system of the M16 M4 series gun, and what you have is the 416. The guns are lauded as exceedingly reliable. They aren't as light recoiling as a standard M4 M16, but they are brutally reliable. And the reason for both of those is the gas piston system. The other reason that the gun is really reliable is that, quite frankly, we beefed up the gun as general. When the system first was presented to the military, it was requested by the military. It was an upper receiver unit. They didn't necessarily want a whole gun. They wanted something that they could put on existing lower receivers. And that's where you have the marrying of the two systems. Later on, it was decided that an entirely new or an entirely updated, beefed up rifle would have been the way to go. And so that's what we did. That's what HK did. The lower receiver on the 416 there's really nothing special about it. It's standard M16 architecture, fire control. There's nothing new with that. Where you get into the real meat of the 416 is the gas system and its reliability. They're extremely reliable guns. The maintenance schedule on these guns is a little bit more intense, simply because the action of the gun is a little bit more violent because of the gas system, and that's what happens. The gas system is what dictates that. But as a whole, the guys that have them love them. We're going to pair it with one of our steel 30-round mags, also known as an SA-80 mag. The guys that have used those really like those. They're very high reliability magazines. But the gun as a whole is an excellent rifle. We're going to get Sophie behind this one, and it's going to be a good time.
Alright, so the next one up is our HK 416D, and I got 30 rounds of 5.56. We're going to do it in semi-automatic first, and then we'll switch over to full auto. This is a lot easier to handle than I expected. I don't know what I was expecting, but this one is quite nice. Another kick-ass firearm from HK.
All right, so again, kind of like what we did with the MP5. I know some of you are saying, hey, wait a minute, we shot this one in the first video. And you're half right. So this is exactly the same gun that we shot. This is the G36 that we shot back in August, I think it was. With the exception of the barrel. Some folks had asked to see the K variant of the gun, which is really just a shorter barrel. The original gun had a 20-inch barrel. The K has just over 16-inch. In my mind, the K variant really is the best balanced of the G36 guns. The standard G36E, which is the longer barrel variant, tends to be kind of nose heavy. The C is a good gun, but it's obnoxious to shoot, as all short barrel 5.56 rifles are kind of are want to do. In case you didn't see the original video, the G36 is a pretty revolutionary gun in that it's a all polymer gun. It wasn't the first to do that. The Steyr AUG, or as some of you in Europe know it as the STG-77, was an all polymer gun. It's unique in that it's one of the more mass-produced polymer rifles. Again, it wasn't the first, but it does it very, very well. To include the fire control group is all polymer. The only metal bits in the fire control group are obviously the springs, but there's what we call an anvil molded into the hammer that impacts the firing pin. Everything else is polymer. This particular model we have has the low-rise Picatinny mount. Most folks are accustomed to the large carry handle dual optic setup, which again can go right on here. It's not a big deal. It can couple screws and it's on there if we want to do that. Another unique thing, and I forgot it again, sorry guys, is the magwell is interchangeable. And what I mean by that is we can pop this pin out, and the magwell will pivot down and out, and we can actually put in an adapter piece that allows the gun to take M16 magazines. And it's a very reliable system. It works very, very well, even though the gun wasn't designed around M16 mags, but that adapter works very well. It took a lot of years for HK Germany to come up with that. Again, same thing, just put the pin in, and it's that quick. Folding stock, it actually locks in on this hook, and the gun can be fired with the stock folded because it's skeletonized. But excellent gun. It's one of my favorites.
Alright, so our next gun is our G36K. I got another 30 rounds of 5.56. First thing we're going to do is semi-automatic, and then I'll flip the switch over to full. Let's see if I can handle it. So the G36K was a real surprise. In the first video that I did with the HK full auto stuff, the G36 was the biggest challenge for me. But the G36K was so smooth and it shot like an absolute dream. I went into it a little bit wary, but I ended up walking away with a new favorite. I could stay out and shoot this thing all day, honestly. The 416 is a firearm of more recent legend, because most of y'all probably know it's the gun that took down Osama bin Laden in the hands of a Navy SEAL. That's a really cool part of recent history to get my own hands on, so I'm thankful for that experience. The recoil felt a lot more violent than I expected. Back last fall, and I'm actually still going to physiotherapy for this. I lost a lot of muscle over the months prior to that shoot, and there's a hard limit on how much actual shooting I could do back in January when this was filmed. There's more photos in this video for that reason. I had a lot less takes that I could use. That'll be amended for the next trip. I've been working on getting my body back to battery and getting strong again so I can go back to the range and really focus on the firearms. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I would like to thank especially Mr. Teague and HK for the time and the access to the firearms. I learned so much, and I really appreciate and enjoy it, and I hope that the folks watching enjoy that I share it with you. Let me know what you thought and what you'd like to see next. Like and subscribe if you dug it, and I'll see you next time.